Get out of my way, Etten Shaman. You are severely underleveled at this point. Ow. Rude. It's over here. I could run around in this zone and take out all the last handful of mini bosses and finish that quest, I guess. Probably not right now. Oh god, I keep forgetting about the weird looking wolves. Their front arms weird me out. There's something up with that. They look too much like people in a weird way. Hey guys, one of you yelled at me on a road somewhere? There you are. Yeah, it was you. Severi Brond.
Well, glad to see that you made it here safe and sound. Helic's the one you'll want to speak to, though.
Cranwin.
The mage is more used to seeing women in skirts, but I've caught him leering more than a few times nonetheless. Let's hope his spellcraft is more potent than his stares. Enough of that.
So we're on an expedition to the place called the Teeth of Naros. I think it's supposed to be like a profitable thing, probably risky, and we got a little adventurers party. Hopefully they all get character development.
Finally, we found the last person we need after all. I'm Helic Cross. I'm leading an expedition to the land south of Dalantarth, the Teeth of Naros, and we could use another strong back.
Cranwin.
A mage is always good to have on an expedition like this, except for Cash. But maybe he'll come around.
Cash? Okay. I kept adding an R. Cash is not what I expected. Expedition.
During one of my other campaigns, I chanced upon a diary of an Almain monk, Denric the Crazed. Said he found a way to the land south of Dalantarth.
That's not promising.
After reading what he found there, cities of gold, fountains of sapphires, I decided I wanted to see this land for myself.
I don't know if you should follow the advice of people that self-identify as crazy. Hail it Cross.
Been a mercenary for about 20 years now. Toured with the Fatesworn, but didn't take quite as much pride in the work as they wanted. So I struck out on my own. You can make a fair bit of coin selling your sword to keep a farm or two safe. Not that I'll need to anymore.
Really? I didn't take much pride in my work as a Fatesworn either, and they made me the leader. Severi Brond?
Sveri's got a fairly good head on her shoulders. She's only got eyes for gold, but there's plenty for all on this trip. When it comes to navigating ruins, there's no one I trust more.
Actually, I think the Fatesworn are one of the few factions I don't rule, do I? I think I just, like, was honored or whatever. I don't think I run them the way that I run most of the places now. Teeth of Naros.
We're in the foothills of the Teeth right now. It's not the easiest place to reach. Sheer cliffs of stone, and few passes through them.
You know much about the Teeth?
Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver. Even said it floated above the earth, if you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them.
A floating city? What is it, the first expansion of every MMO where they add flying? Why do you need me?
Because Denric wrote of more than wealth. Tales of giant men, tall as houses, that slaughter any who approach. It took weeks even to convince Cash and Sveri to join me. With a fourth, we can take a bigger haul without sharing too much of it.
You believe a madman?
Denric was crazed, but I don't hold him a liar. I can overlook some bogeyman's tales if there's riches to be had. Can you?
That's the problem with somebody that's supposedly crazy, is that they can be wrong without lying. I'll do it.
Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the southern passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can.
This night elf is definitely getting me killed. We're just going in on foot. Curious about the scale of this one. Like if it...
The time of deliverance is almost nigh.
Ow.
The teeth of Naros have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou Fateless One, I beckon thee.
Should have been ready for that. Should have been ready for the super loud cutscene that plays, just like last time. Okay. It'll be interesting to see if this is just like a really long dungeon with a bunch of narrative with these three characters, or if it's like another new zone again. Oftentimes when you play Witcher or Fallout, there's a big mix of like areas where they're like, here's a whole new zone. Like, I don't remember the specific Fallout expansions anymore, but like the first Witcher 3 expansion is just a narrative grafted onto the existing map, and then the second one is a new map. And like it kind of varies a lot like that. Like Fallout 3 had one DLC that was an entire new area to roam around, and then the other ones were either existing on the map that already existed, or they were like a linear dungeon sequence that was new, but not like a zone the way that you normally anticipate. There could be a similar dynamic here. Day 14. Little in the way of food and water left. I'm licking rocks for what gritty moisture kisses their face, and eating what lichens I can pry off the rocks. Bitter at first, but after a few they begin very much so to taste like, how should I put it? Like smiles and blood and yelling and smoke and dung. I think I'll have some more. What is this cave anyways? Braziers and columns seem to be of some importance. Haven't seen their work before. I feel like a child next to them. Was this once a hall for giants, or have I grown shorter? Perhaps I should stop eating quite so much lichen. Denrick's journal. You can take it. Maybe it'll come up. Look at... They made it all sparkly to really call it out, like, look at this! Please! I swear it's not rando lore, it's context or something. Hey guys. You guys walked right past the lore, you murder hobos.
Stay close.
Stay close. Well, you ran away before I could finish the loading screen, bruh. That's kind of rude. Am I crazy or did I only see two? Oh, it's a disabled bear trap, and I did not see where the trap was, but I got in and out without encountering it. Following this guy now. He looks impaled by his own spear. I'm pretty sure it's going through his body. It definitely is. It's definitely impaling him.
What the hell is that thing?
Whenever he runs. No, it's just always impaling him. That's a hell of a clipping mistake for a main character in a DLC.
This... what is it? It looks like it's made of stone. But this stain... this is blood. This thing is flesh! I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed. Leave me.
Damn craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him.
What was that corpse?
We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Eton decorated with some entrails, or something. I can't believe that craven mage.
Is that it? He's just done? I mean, it's definitely very clearly a body from my perspective, because it's fucking, like, got the warping and weirdness of a ragdoll. The body appears to resemble stone, but on closer inspection is flesh and blood. It appears to have died in some violent manner. The trappings on it are of an unknown make. Yeah, it looks like a Roman or something. And it seems like he died, then was petrified. There's some shit going on around here, guys. You should be concerned. Alright, well, our party just reduced significantly. Hope you guys end up having personalities, because you'll need at least one to rub between the two of you.
Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Spheri's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here.
So she's going to be a statue now, and we're going to watch her die, because she's a red shirt? Wow!
What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Spheri dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly, I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine, let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here.
What do we do now?
We keep going. Cash proved to be useless, and Spheri's not helping anyone anymore. Looks like it was always up to us. With just two of us, we'll have to try and manage as best we can. It won't be easy, but I thought something like this could happen.
Okay, so her bizarre sudden death was supposed to be weird. At least there's that. Because I'm like, what the fuck? How did you immediately... Come on, man. You were even warned that there's something feels weird about this hallway. But something's wrong, apparently. Wow, we're running out of characters fast. What is this intro?
Come, we must make Spheri's death.
Okay, the audio in this game, man. They made it so audio comes from people based on their location, but people sprint away so fast, immediately the voice acting drops from like really loud to inaudible. It drops off way too fast. It doesn't make sense. Anyone that plays the game for a few minutes would be like, oh yeah, that audio drops off way too fast. I can't even tell what he said. It just sounds weird. That was a cool bird monster thing. Let's kill its baby. Its baby is dead. Oh, dead. Almost? There we go, now it's dead.
What in the hell were those things? I've never seen anything like them. I heard of the dangers of the southern land, but are the gods themselves conspiring against us? Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought.
No, they didn't.
I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead, and see if you can find a place to make camp.
You gonna be okay?
Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp.
Take a healing potion?
I'll take it, but I'll wait until I really need to use it. Be a shame to waste the thing, wouldn't it?
Oh, just drink it, please.
Now get going. I need to rest. Discover what you can, and come back to me. Go.
Alright, well, he's dead. I'm already alone. I'm gonna scout out the passage ahead, and then I'm gonna come back, and he's gonna be a statue now. Go that way? He's gonna turn into a statue. These guys are probably basilisks or something. Which way is the passage ahead? Did we teleport backwards? I think we teleported backwards. Yeah, next time I see him, he's probably gonna be a statue. That was the foreshadowing of the previous statue. I was gonna say, like, at this point, I'm with Cash on this one. Like, we need to leave. This is a horrible idea going forward when we're falling. Like, I've been here for 5 minutes and everyone's dead already. Fucking quit. This is like the beginning of Resident Evil bad, and at least they were trapped. Like, if the beginning of Resident Evil happens where everybody gets taken out by dogs immediately, time to abort if you can. Thought of going to, let's see, day 17? Thought of going to thank the Etten that drove me into this cave. It's quite spacious in here, though I've been in long enough that I'm unsure that I can find a way back out again. I had a good go of chasing what lamplights I can see. They wouldn't steer me wrong, would they? Of course not. It's so dark in this place. Like night, once it's been boiled down and poured over pitch. Light is good, though. It's warm and tells me where to go. left leg isn't looking so good, but it drags rather well. Who in the blazes put a cliff in the middle of this place? Had no conception of the structure from the start, it seems to me. Poor savages, whoever they were, probably had to stand on chairs to get anything done in this place. He really doesn't get how tall anyone was. He's still catching up with the idea that this place is run by giants. Which is weird, right? Because he said Etten, so he's not unfamiliar with the idea of a giant. Oh, the door's just right here. Oh. Weep. Uh-oh. Find a way out of the teeth of Naros. Weird axe. There's a lot of traps everywhere here. Might have had trouble keeping people alive if they were alive to keep alive. But they're not. I don't believe such a thing exists. Memes are powerful sometimes. What's up with that shit? I'm not nostalgic about that movie. It's like, let's repeat this meme that everyone says all the time. Am I included yet? I watched The Princess Bride once and I didn't finish it. I don't remember. I think I was just tired. I was at somebody else's house, so I couldn't just like try again the next day.
So, after centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Beckoned. At last, my work can be completed.
Who are you?
One who watched and waited for decades and centuries and eons, and all for this day when thou wouldst come before me. I have read the fates of this world to find thee, unfated one. Many and long have been thy trials thus far, but there is yet another challenge thou must face. Mine.
How would this meeting be fated?
Since the inception of my labors, I have always known that their fulfillment would require fate to be unbound. Such is the paradox of faith. The tapestry of fate offers no allowance for such events. Only an unfated being could complete the work I had started. So I waited, in despair and hope. And then thou came to pass. I needed thy nature, and it was created, though I had no hand in it. I see that as fate, in a way.
What would you need me to do?
To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate, and perpetuate its sundering. I will open the way to the teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
Beckoned. You accepted the challenge of a mysterious voice to bear a strange artifact into a hostile land and realize her will by changing the course of fate. Why am I always just succumbing to the will of various figures? That seems like a bad idea. 10% damage in Reckoning mode? That's a useless bonus. Reckoning mode is already at the I win button. Alright. Well. Just in the game about defying fate, I'm definitely thrown into a long linear hallway structure where I'm immediately enacting somebody else's will. Alright, so this has not turned out to be what we thought it was. Let's see if it keeps changing. Ironically, my fate required someone that is not bound by fate. Excuse me? Alright, well that's a Hell of a gamble you're taking there. I think I skipped over this because there was other things to talk about, but oh, hello. Here's the zone, huh? I think I skipped over this because how did I just get 26 grand? Who gave that to me? What? But it did catch my attention earlier that the Fate Scribe, whatever, Fate Weaver from the previous expansion at the end said, like, it was my fate to return to Patty. It was my fate to help you. This is as it was fated. The cards showed me that you would arrive, and I have determined that it was always my fate to help you here, and that's why I was stranded here. And it's like, I thought the whole point of my character is that Fate Scribes, Fate Weavers, there we go, can't see anything about me. So how could he see me coming if I'm supposed to be not having a fate? Like, it's one thing for him to retroactively determine that his fate was all along to do this, which it wasn't, because I'm not bound by fate. That's the point of my character. But he could, but if that still is interpreted as like his fate has now been written retroactively, like his fate scrying powers can see his past as if it's his fate, which is just called having a memory, but whatever. That's just having a memory and ascribing meaning to it. But if he wants to say that his fate all along was to do this, that's one thing. But his cards saw me coming. And how did his cards see me coming if I could have just not come? Like, I could have just gone somewhere else. Like, that seems like a problem for his whole, like, thing, you know? Point of no return drop! There's been a lot of those. Alright, well, I'm thoroughly trapped in this DLC until it's time to go back. Flipping. That's intense. Ew. It's not a great way to clean a spear.
What is... First we have an army of Jotun at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent.
Is it not pronounced Jotun? I thought it was pronounced Jotun. So you're statue people. That's what we're doing. Okay. Huh. Okay. I was thinking, like, I predicted that that guy would be infected by the statue thing, because I think basilisks are that's turned people to stone are often, like, shown as, like, a bird creature thing. And I'm like, that guy's fucked. But then I was wondering how that was going to ever pay off, because I had to jump off point of no return to continue the story. Because I can't go back there now. And I'm like, is this going to pay off? I don't know what's going to happen here. But no, now we're in here and everybody just is a statue. So that's what we're doing. That's what these people are. Who are you?
You barge into these lands, and yet you do not know who holds them? I am. My people are Colossi. For years we have held these lands as the hallowed grounds of our gods. We are stone and flesh, sword and faith.
Doesn't Colossus mean like big, basically? Like, and it, like, or is that just like a modernization, like a thing from the original source? Because I'm just wondering, like, why would you refer to yourself as big if your frame of reference is your own size? Did other people name you? I mean no harm.
Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here?
I walked in about the caverns.
It is a road that has gone otherwise unwalked since it was sealed. How did you walk this path?
A strange entity invited me.
Strange entity? A curious riddle, but one that must be solved later. It seems the Jotun have rallied their strength. Steel yourself.
Hey guys. Oh, they're even bigger than the statue people. Anyway, they're dead now. Bye. Oh, no, he's still alive. Gotta work on that. Ah, damn it. I'm stuck on the... There we go.
That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned. But for what purpose?
Don't talk about my girth. I must seek the Primos. I like that's even quotes, like, because I don't know what the words I'm saying mean.
What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotun horde. Idilla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people.
A recluse?
Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him.
Never listen to him? Why are these persuasion?
The Primos is the highest office among the Colossi, reserved for the one that leads my people in politics and prayer. At least that is how things should be. But Anakatos, the latest to have this authority, has not lived up to his duties. Our people are stranded in a wild land, in a time of our greatest doubt, and he locks himself away from us. Our ruler leaves us leaderless.
As somebody who maxed out persuasion as fast as possible in this game, I'm definitely noticing that they struggle to have any use for it. In fact, I don't remember using persuasion in the entire last expansion. I think I used it once to get that, to tell that one guy to let me kill the Scion for him. I think that might have been my only persuasion check in the entire last expansion's story. And the majority of the persuasion checks I've done, I think, basically don't make sense. Where I'm like, I don't even know. Like either it's unclear what I'm persuading or why I have to persuade, or when I do it, the outcome is confusing and strange and doesn't have any logical flow to it. And I've never seen someone stumble. I've never seen a game stumble so hard with persuasion. I thought it was a really like done deal, like figured out thing that people kind of knew what to do with that, generally speaking. And here it was its own. Here was a new version of strange, where it was just me asking very basic follow-up questions to what the weird ends that she had stopped on, which she offered zero resistance to the idea of talking about, but I had to do a persuasion check to do them for some reason. But like there was no indication that she didn't want to talk about them, so there was nothing. There was no indication of a barrier I was breaking through. Tell me about Idilla.
It is the city you see floating in the sky over this land of savages and dangers. It is my people's greatest accomplishment and failure. I cannot speak more of it to an outsider. Forgive me.
What is the cipher?
A relic of great importance to those of my people that carry the faith. I thought it was just a myth, but one who carries the cipher is much loved by the gods. So the sages of my race say. A blessing as much as a curse.
If I help, can I meet the Primos?
The Jotun are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord. And if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself.
Karunk. It's oddly satisfying. Caverns.
It was an old passage built by my people as our faith demanded. Once, it was to lead to fertile woodlands. But we were commanded to stay our diggers, our masons. So we remain in the teeth.
Idilla.
It is a wonder to any mortal eyes, though because it is not good enough for the gods' tastes, we must call it a failure. And still we bear this bitter truth every morning, and by every sundown it seems liable to crush us under its weight.
Jotun.
The Jotun are a savage race, but their cruelty can be controlled as easily as it can be fostered. Before we came here, the Jotun were our wards. But that was a lifetime ago. And now they call for our heads.
It is. This camera angle is cute. It like really establishes the height problem. All right, this is gonna bother me. Pronounce that word. Typos. Whoops. Ba-doop-ba-doop.
Jotun or Jotun, Old Norse.
Yeah, it seems...
Jotun or Jotun, Old Norse.
Yeah, it seems like there's more discussion about how to pronounce the second half of the word, but the first half is like, yeah, it's Jotun. It's not Jotun. You fool.
Jotun.
Jotun. Jotun.
Yeah, it's a lot of sources that all are like, why are you pronouncing it Jotun, game? Do you not want to check? What, you just, I'm gonna add another T and now it's the other J? Like, it's... Why? Why would you use the word Jotun but slightly spell it differently? And it seems to mean the same thing, but, like, you're gonna just pronounce it that way? Like, what? What? It's just frustrating. Karunk.
The warlord is cruelty incarnate. He has transformed the memory of my people's leadership into that of slavery, as if we possess such barbarity. He makes camp in the barbarous tower you see in the distance. He must be killed if this is to end.
Lusai.
We have come, little one, from savage lands and savage past. We have been picked by the gods to carry their will across this world. And now we inhabit this land, summoned by our gods to do their works, and who now are silent.
Across this world. Do you guys know you're underground? Are you underground, actually? Is this an underground world? And which gods? More gods? Sikandra. That's you.
I command the soldiers that protect my people, the Colossi, from the dangers of this land. They are many, and we are but few. Each passing year it seems more and more like we lose ground. But what can we do? We are commanded to stay here.
The cipher.
Keep it close to you. That artifact is proof to many that you are the avatar of the gods. It holds much power. Bring word to the city. They will need to know about the Jotun and this new interloper.
Alright, well, let's go fight the Jotun. Speak with Ramaz. Hello. Yep, there's the Teeth of Naros. Alright, I guess that was there the whole time, huh? So I knew this was coming. Is this the next expansion? Mithros. Set the Cinder Pit. And there's where I was. Am I allowed to fast travel now? You cannot fast travel to Gallows End. That's gonna make revisiting it all the time for that construction project a bit annoying, but I pretty much have to finish this first now anyway, don't I? Unless I can leave. Oh, it sounds like I can leave. I was not expecting fast travel to be active given the context. That seems like the sky. I think I just went through a mountain and just on the other side of the mountain is this other land. So there's just like a mountain in the way, but you guys have never seen statue people? I thought this was gonna be another grand underground space, like the tree place, to try to explain its isolation. Hello, same wolves from earlier. Ow! Fine, yeah, I guess you can die or whatever. Jeez. Oh, that guy's hardy. Are they I wonder if they're different levels of power, or if it's like the AoE itself has like a... It probably has a damage fall off that isn't a hard cutoff. So I'm noticing that sometimes one person survives for a bit. It might just be critting the other two, but that seems unlikely that it'd be critting that much.
Ah! What a horrid little thing you are! Are you some kind of Jotun runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position.
The Kandra wants Karunk dead.
That much I was aware of, and I knew Sikandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure, but if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need.
What can you tell me?
Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well.
Alright.
Very well, little one.
Oh, we're not done here. Primal magic
You're
was
still
something.
here, odd creature.
What is primal
Why,
magic?
Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon. Use it to inflict primal magic on a foe and let loose your spells. Even a Jotun warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. Be careful.
Primal Scepter. It's 5% fire damage. Primal damage. We'll see how that goes. I wandered off at first because I didn't second guess the use of the term primal magic. I was just like, oh yeah, it's magic. I'm fine. I got it then. Magic will help. Oh, he's fucked. It's only when the quest was like not proceeded that I'm like, oh, that's new lore. Okay, that's something I need to take a closer look at. Whoops. Basically, there's like a weakening spell that makes people more vulnerable to magic. It would sound like. There we go. Bye-bye. Would have been funny if they introduced this whole primal magic system and I'm like, sorry, bud. I just respect out of magic, actually, so... I'm gonna be ignoring you now. Ouch. And now explode. A bit distressing that they're like, what if magic's stronger? I'm like, excuse me? Hello, chicken. No? Whoa, he's glitching. He stood out so much visually that I was like, is that chicken an NPC? I was ready for that chicken to be an NPC. Like a cursed chicken or something. Or I think back to that weird quest from Divinity 2, where the guy. It's like the only quest it's like the only thing I remember from all of Divinity 2. Is Ego Draconis, I think, is the one where there's a guy that just desperately is looking for a chicken because he's like soul bound to it or something, and if anything happens to it, he'll die. And if you attack the chicken on sight, it just smash cuts to him falling over dead someplace far away immediately. And it's like a comedy cut. It's like, oh, there it goes. That is legitimately the only quest I remember from all of that game. I could probably do a blind playthrough of that. Oh hey, Crunk. Ow! It's rude. Here, be distracted a bit, please. Ah! What is the dodge even for if it doesn't work? Big explosion. Also, I guess I should get some bonus experience and whatnot. I guess this is the time to do that. Krunk is so dangerous. His fortitude, most of all. Oh yeah, I was supposed to fight these kobolds. The only way to defeat him is to kill his kobolds. Otherwise, he's unkillable. Whoops. Sorry, I broke your entire... Wow, that was him when he was stronger than normal? Ooh. Guys, man. Alright. Wow, we had a whole conversation about how he's, like, unkillable if you don't get his kobolds first, and... I genuinely just don't feel like lockpicking. I don't want to do the minigame anymore. I usually don't care what's inside those boxes. It's just like do a little mini game for a little bit of bonus experience, basically. So I don't want to lockpick. Oh, I could have teleported, huh? Yeah. Ow. There we go. Who's hostile? Okay, we're just waiting for him to fall over. I gotta remember to summon my guy in advance more often, because he's awkward to summon mid-fight. Hello.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety.
Yeah.
Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath?
No.
It was said the gods would call their champion, and here you are bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. If you have learned something of primal magic, this staff may be of value to you. Take it with my thanks for your role in killing the warlord. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned.
Beckoned? What is that?
Before this day, I thought it was just a myth, a lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you.
Are the Jotuns still a threat?
With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill. But still they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them.
I want you to spare the Jotun?
I owe you much for killing Karunk beckoned, so I will do as you say. I only hope you do not reap bitter fruit from your generosity. Now I will take you to the henge, and then to the Primos, as I promised.
I only wish I had met a Jotun or two along the way to contextualize that choice a bit. Primos.
The Primos is our ruler, and the most devout of the Colossi. For example, our current Primos, Anakatos, has sequestered himself away from our people in prayer for years. Meanwhile, we are threatened every day, and because of Anakatos' extreme measures, we lack guidance. Be cautious in these lands.
I think at that point it's mostly just like, hey, it's pretty war crimey to kill all of the remaining people after you've won the war or whatever. And so you're supposed to think that along those terms and like bring that to the table yourself. Because otherwise it's just like out of nowhere it's like, actually don't fight the Jotun anymore. It's like almost like an out of nowhere like, It's like, there must be a moral choice. I know. Here. And it's like, and it's also like maybe the kind of choice that might have the least possible effect. You're getting destroyed by this wolf lady. It's the kind of choice that might have the least possible, like, outcome even? We'll see if it comes up later. Because them being killed or spared is like seems like it'd be an off-camera thing that never comes up. So it's like lip service to choices. She runs very strangely. It's unresponsive.
Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city.
Oh, it's not designed for Dalkofar anatomy, as it turns out. It just fucking splits me in half. Jotun.
I have thought on your decision to spare the Jotun, and how our intolerance exposes our hypocrisy.
Yeah.
At first I saw no reason for it. The Jotun are cruel and savage. Then I realized that we Colossi were that way once, until someone gave us a chance.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Like, you won the war. You don't need to genocide now. Just ripped in half. It's just, I'm just like kind of stretched out along the fucking floor, like the fucking the mold monster in the pool in Annihilation. It's one of those things where like teleportation would take so much more faith to try in real life. It's pretty terrifying, actually.
And here you have it. Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene.
Do you get it? The name is ironic, because it's like, it's idyllic, but it's actually our failure, Athene.
The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness?
Colossae.
We are adrift in these lands, I must admit. We might have been great enough to overcome the burdens, but now we cannot.
Secandra.
Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people, and there are many options to choose from.
Why does he hide?
The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. Very well.
It's somewhat of an interesting subversion of expectations to start the adventure with that group, and then immediately they're all gone over the span of like 10 minutes.
Mind your step here, Beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colossi's failure to claim any more lives than it already has.
But I do still find myself wandering back to that origin story and like kind of like grasping for some kind of closure for it still. Why is there a pit in the city?
It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Be cautious in these lands.
Be cautious in these lands? That was a weird line to trigger here,
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anakatos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him.
It's like a metaphor. Any advice on Anakatos?
After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Farewell.
Whoa! That's a cool door. Seems a bit much, but, you know, this is a place to be a bit much, probably. So, if you considered ruling...
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, Beckoned. A At last, this city will be complete.
The city is incomplete. How so?
Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer, but they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the Wreath of Absolution.
What's a Wreath of Absolution?
Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, when we must prove to the gods our devotion.
What do I need to do?
The Wreath of Absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last Primos to wear a Wreath of Absolution Arcase is buried with one such circlet. Sakandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet.
You?
I am the Primos of the Colossi people. As I lead them in politics, I lead them in prayer.
Arcs.
He led my people into the times that you see today. The gods did not favor his reign, clearly.
Beckoned.
The messenger of the gods, one summoned to bring the word of faith back to our people. I always assumed that the beckoned would be one of my own kind, but you bear the cipher. Your role cannot be made more clear.
Athene.
The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great.
Idela.
This is greater than any city or any temple that you will find in this world. Of that I assure you. But the city, though magnificent, is only half completed.
Colossi.
The Colossi are the children of the Titans. We are the inheritors of their will, and we are the ones that will shepherd this world into a new age.
Silent Choir.
The Silent Choir is a group of our most faithful followers, and serve me as I serve the gods. So deep is their faith that they never speak upon entering service.
The Teeth of Naros.
This land is the crucible by which my people might be forged to their new destiny. Vicious and inhospitable, it rebukes my people's every step.
The Cipher.
Many are the artifacts strewn throughout this world, but the Cipher of Athene, I have seen its outline traced in tomes and scrolls, but never in person. Bearing it makes you an embodiment of her power, Beckoned. She sees and hears through you.
Where is Ark's circlet?
It lies in his crypt, in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. The end of this awaits.
It's very foreboding he said it like that. He definitely said that as if the whole fucking city's gonna come falling down as a result of what we do. Like, that was weirdly grim.
What can I do?
I grow concerned.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you?
I need the Circlet of Ox.
The Circlet of Arcase. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible.
Archies.
I've had chances to speak of Arcase before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now.
Anokatos.
You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact. But his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the crypt of Arcase have no sanctity to him? Be cautious in these lands.
Oop. Gone. I could do with a bit of an animation or something. That wasn't even disappearing into a door, it was just them blinking out of existence. Hello. Where am I now? Going somewhere over here. Oh. These are weird. Are they rising under their own... some kind of force? They're held by chains, but from below instead of above. Like, there's something weird going on here. Whatever it is seems wildly unintended and mistaken. Like, it's definitely unhelpful if they have to add a bunch of like temporary ladders afterwards to get around, as opposed to the original way of doing things. Interesting that you highlight the top of the ladder when you walk up to it, like you're selecting it. Some targeting stuff going on there. Huh. Well, this place happened. Time to explode. No. No. Ow. Ah, okay, fine. You can die too. Is that what you wanted? Are you happy now? All things considered, it seems like that cave that nobody could go through was like reasonably permeable, because like, you know, the birds were nearly at the surface, and there was a dead colossus near the surface. So like that person just like walked up there, but they did die. Did you have to be unfate bound to survive the passage through this the place? I went the wrong way. Like maybe you could only survive the full trip if you were like unbound from fate. Because maybe like weird fate stuff was why she like mysteriously died to a trap that she's supposed to be able to fight. I'm wondering if that'll be followed up on, or if I didn't grasp the context given by the statue. Like, I might have forgotten something. But they specifically called out that it's weird that she died to a trap when she specializes in not dying to traps, basically. That's enough for you guys. Shiny. I'm wondering if that kind of thing will come up again, if it's like the fate stuff. But hey, we've made it here.